Town crier, tell us, how did Emmanuel Ifeajuna died? Whenever you see questions like this, have it in mind. It's coming from no other place but from West Africa. Nigerians, they usually want to know what happened in their war. Town crier, tell us, how did Kaduna Nzogo died? You tell them. They come again. Town crier, tell us, how did this one happen? You tell them. Town crier, tell us how Emmanuel Ifeajuna died. I am telling you today, not just because I want to open old wounds, but because it is my duty to inform you at the town crier of Akebulan. Pay attention. You see, on the 25th of September 1967, Emmanuel Ifeajuna, once a respected soldier in Nigeria, was executed. He was once a Commonwealth gold medalist winner, 1954, Vancouver, Canada. A man that was once celebrated. He was executed by those he once called comrade. He was accused of treason. He betrayed the same people he swore to defend. But was his trial fair? Was his accusation right? Let us check in the historical perspective of the ancestors. Pay attention. You see, town crier, do not just go straight to answer your question. I use one stone to kill two birds. I give you perspective into history so you will know what happened and how it happened, because I make history entertaining and at the same time interesting. That's why I'm the voice of Akebulan. Pay attention on Emmanuel Ifeajuna. Because even as I speak, those who are not here are with me, because they hear from their mouthpiece. That is why I bring them peace in their ancestral history. Because before such history can be said, appeasement has to be done. Iloko. Pay attention. You see, the first gunshot in the Nigerian Biafra Civil War was heard July 6th, 1967. Because Nigeria went into that war, creating the first division of the Nigerian army, commanded by Mohammed Showa. Mohammed Showa created two brigades, the first and the second brigade. Each of the brigade had 3 battalions each. The first brigade was commanded by Sule Apollo. Second brigade, Martin Sadamu. Sule Apollo fired at Ogugu and Nsoka area, while Martins Adamu was asked to capture Ogoja. He was asked to capture Giakam. He was asked to capture Ogbudu. Pay attention. The first gunshot was heard at Ogugu and Nsoka area. Guess what happened? That operation was called Operation Unicord, because the intention was to round up Biafran people and capture the capital of the Biafran nation, which was formerly the capital of the old eastern region in Nigeria. That is Enugu, which was where Ojukwu, the commander of the Biafran army, was seated. The Biafrans found out about that technique. They found out that the Nigerian government was avoiding to attack them from the Midwestern region. The governor of the Midwestern region was David Ejo. The Nigerian government did not want to attack the Biafrans from the Midwestern region, so they were coming from the north and from the south. So what happened? Ojukwu and the Biafran High Command created what we call the last-minute technical flair. It was called Operation Touch. I've taught you this before. Town crier, if you have taught them before, why are you repeating it? I am repeating it because repetition is the law of deep, everlasting impression. Pay attention. You see, Ojukwu knew that the Biafrans were lacking technical manpower, and so he had to release soldiers who had experience. He released 4 soldiers with experience: Emmanuel Ifeajuna, Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogo, Timothy Onwatuegu, Humphrey Chukwuka. These 4 persons were prisoners of the revolution, January 15th, 1966 military coup d'etat. He released another man, Victor Banjo. He was not part of the coup plotters, but he was arrested for what? For assassination attempt on Agiyi Ironsi. But now, Ojukwu needs them to join him in the battle for struggle. They were released. And then, Ojukwu was watching them. He was watching them. But then there was need to give them responsibility. I told you how Chukwuma Kaduna Nzogo died. If you have not watched that video, go and watch it. But right now, I'm telling you how Emmanuel Ifeajuna died. But because I want to use one stone and kill 2 birds, I'm not just going to tell you how Emmanuel Ifeajuna died. I'll tell you how Victor Banjo died. Pay attention all together. Pay attention. You see, in order to divert the attention of the Nigerian army from Enugu, Biafrans had to go into the Midwestern region. So on the 8th of August, the Biafrans created what was called the 101st Biafran Division. It was commanded by Victor Banjo, assisted by Emmanuel Ifeajuna. And so they moved and crossed Onitsha and crossed the Niger and went into Asaba. When they got into Asaba, they seized the telecommunication companies so that the people cannot make call. They took over Asaba. When they got to a place called Agbo, pay attention. There might not be an auto caption on this video because my video editing app got outdated. But pay attention, I'll be writing down the names of town and the names of individuals so you can follow on how it's being pronounced in your local parlance. Pay attention. When they got to Agbo, A-G-B-O-R, they divided themselves into 3 battalions. The 13th Battalion, the 12th Battalion, and the 18th Battalion. The 12th Battalion was commanded by Festus Akanga. He moved west and conquered the capital of the Midwestern region, Benin City. And then the 13th Battalion was commanded by Humphrey Chokoka. He moved towards the south. Guess where he went? He went to a place called Warri, Sapele, and Ugeli. And then the 18th Battalion moved towards the north and captured a place called Ahuchi, and Aginibode. The question is, Tankraya, how did Emmanuel Ifeajuna died? Tankraya, tell them, what are you running about? I'm going about so that I can give you perspective into what happened. Pay attention. You see, Ojukwu did not trust the people that were heading this army. He didn't trust them. Tankraya, were you there? How do you know that he did not trust them? Pay attention, let me tell you. Because Ojukwu wanted to arrest the governor of the Midwestern region, but he did not inform Emmanuel Ifeajuna. He did not inform Victor Banjo, who were leading the army. Instead, he used a man called Lieutenant Colonel Oche. But then a man called Samuel Igbomuda changed the soldiers who were sent, and David Ejo was able to escape. How do you know? Apart from this reason, Tankraya, pay attention. Ojukwu and Victor Banjo had a little disagreement on who would be the governor of the Midwestern region after David Ejo ran away. Victor Banjo suggested people like Ralph Triminal and Samuel Igbomuda, but Ojukwu didn't trust them. And then he gave the governor of the Midwestern region an Igbo medical officer who was Abat Okonkwo. And that already was causing a little disagreement between him and Victor Banjo. Immediately, Emmanuel Ifeajuna handed over his position to a man called Henry Okpoba, and then went back to Enugu as a liaison officer. That time, they have started planning on the treason. Let me cut the long story short. I'm making series where I will state all the facts. Just note that after the 2nd Division, commanded by Mohammed, that is Murtala Mohammed, chased the Biafran division away from the Midwestern region, and they crossed the Niger Bridge and broke it, Ojukwu invited Victor Banjo and Emmanuel Ifeajuna to Enugu, and they were tried for treason. Why? Because it was known that they were planning to hand over the government of Biafra to the Nigerian government and overthrow Ojukwu. They were having this talk with the federal officials through British agent. The Biafran command found out, and they were tried for it. Some accounts stated that they were executed on the 22nd of September, 1967. But according to eyewitness and the people I interviewed before this video, they stated that it happened in Enugu, 1:30 p.m. on the 25th of September, 1967. They were executed. But they were not the only people executed. Victor Banjo was executed. Emmanuel Ifeajuna was executed. Philip Alare was executed. Sunday Agbam was also executed. They were all part of the people that plotted the handover and the overthrow of Ojukwu. It was after that incident that Ojukwu stated that only 3 persons commanded the Biafrans. 3 persons. If you get it right, Town Crier will reward you. If you don't get it right, in my next video, I will tell you, I love you and I care about you. They wanted to hand over the Biafrans to the Nigerians authority, and to the Biafrans, that was treason. But the funny thing about the Nigerian Biafran war is this, that whenever a soldier dies, the both people mourn. Let me give you an example. When Emmanuel Ifeajuna died, it was not just the Biafrans who lost him. The entire Africa lost him, because he was the first black African to win a gold medal in men international competition high jump, Vancouver, Canada, 1954. So we felt it as much as you felt it at your home. That is why that war was so sad, because Africa lost while the West celebrated, because they wanted us to finish ourselves. Akebulen. Wisdom is the principal thing. In my next video, I will tell you a lot of things that you want to know. Whatever you want to know, tell me in the comment section. I will tell you more. But that was how Emmanuel Ifeajuna died. There is something that so many people don't know about Emmanuel Ifeajuna. I will tell you in my series. But know this, that this history was not done to bring back old wounds. It was done to let you know where the truth lies. In military, treason cannot be forgiven. Akebulen, I love you. Let another not happen. Let peace be in all over Akebulen. Wisdom, now water. Wisdom is the principal thing.